So, boat season is coming, and some of you maybe are looking around to get your first boat and what to look for. And first off, who are we to give advice on boats? Yeah, I'm 35 years old. I've had boats all my life. I got my first boat when I was about 6. It was a sailing dinghy like this, and moved up to a sailing catamaran and some smaller power boats and some bigger power boats. Yeah, I had almost. Yeah, I have had a lot of boats, all different kinds, sizes, models, and you basically the same.
Yeah, I'm 30 years old and I have been on the ocean my whole life. We only have small boats, small engine boats, nothing too big, nothing you can live in. Absolutely not. So this is you to me.
Yeah, this is the first big boat for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we are 2 grown-ups, 2 kids, and 2 dogs.
Smaller dogs, we are whippets, so they're not too big.
Yeah. But so this boat we have right now is basically perfect for that. We have an aft cabin that you can live and you can sleep 2 grown-ups easily in the aft cabin. But right now we are sleeping all 6 in the forward cabin.
Yeah, because the kids are just 4 and 2, so they sleep with us anyway.
Yeah. Our last boat,
Yeah.
when it was only you and me, that one was perfect for us at that time. It was a 18-foot day cruiser, powerboat. With our 2 kids in that boat, it would have been nightmare.
Yeah, but we have very active kids.
Yeah.
If you have very calm kids, then or older kids,
Yeah.
that would be perfect.
But 2 small kids on that wouldn't been fun because it was fast. It was really fast. It's the speedometer maxed out at 45 knots, and I maxed out the speedometer, and there was more to give. But it wasn't the speed that would have been dangerous with our kids. It was the freeboards, and freeboards mean the distance from the ocean level to here. In this boat, it's above my waist, so it's really high. Our kids can stand on this sofa without falling over. In the last boat, it was basically just above the knees. And with 2 kids that's climbing everywhere, it wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah, even this is dangerous for kids
Yeah.
because they can't climb over. But
Yeah.
this
They can't
is
fall over.
No, this is much more safer than.
But if, like us, at that time, that boat was perfect for us at that time.
Yeah, and that was much easier with the dogs
Yeah.
to get them in and out of.
Yeah, because that boat was totally open, so it wasn't, any. We have a soft top for it, a full soft top, so you could sleep over in it and go out in bad weather.
Yes.
And that was one of the good things about that boat, because it was really fast. Because if we went out and it was good weather when we went out and it started to blow or rain or something, it was just start the engine, put it in gear, and you were home. This boat tops out at maybe 10 knots. I should say 9. And normal speed 6, 7 knots something. That's a good thing with this boat because it's very fuel efficient.
And this is much safer also to be out in the sea when it blows.
Yeah, this boat you can go out in. It's built in the 1970s by a Swedish company called Albin, and this kind of boat it's worldwide. You can find this in the US, you can find this in Asia. They are existing all around the world.
But this is, you can do it to a sailing boat.
Yeah,
So that's why it's built for some kind of blowing,
yeah.
some kind of wind.
This boat is actually a power sailor, but we haven't put the mast on yet. We are just using it as a power boat.
Because I have never sailed in my life, so we're starting small.
Start small. You need to learn how to sail first.
Yeah, and the kids really need to be bigger.
Yeah, because it's.
We can't leave them
No.
for nothing.
If we would have rigged this one, it takes one person to steer it and one to control the lines, and then there's no one left to have an eye on the kids. So that have to wait. But
Here it's no use to sail anyway.
we have 5 minutes out to the first island, and
And very many islands.
Yeah.
So
it's no need right now. But if we are gonna go some longer distance, we will put the rig on, maybe. Like this boat, last year, the whole summer, we spent about 40 liters of diesel.
I don't know.
Yeah, about that. Our last boat.
There was just 40 liters for one day.
Yeah,
It
it was terrible to fuel. It just burned through fuel like crazy. But this is a beginner's guide to look for a boat. So let's say if you are 2 grown-ups, no kids, no dogs, what should they look for?
definitely the last boat we had.
Yeah, something like we had before.
Yeah.
It was like this. It was an 18-foot
Maybe
day.
not that big.
Yeah,
There are smaller ones.
it depends on what you're gonna use it for.
Yeah, and how far you're gonna
Yeah.
ride.
Like if you're just going for day trips, no sleepovers or stuff like that, it was a little bit too big or unnecessary big. But if you're planning on spending a couple of nights now and then on the boat, it was perfect. It was an 18-foot open day cruiser with a 2-stroke 125 horsepower outboard, an older one from the late 80s, early 90s. If you're just going for day trips, just go out to an island, spend the day and go back, get a center console open, plastic or aluminum boat. Stay away from wooden boats. It's
Too much work.
yeah, they are nice to look at, but it's terrible to.
Yeah, that's very much work.
Yeah.
on a wooden boat.
I've been around wooden boats also. I started at this sailing school here in this marina we are right now, and then I moved up to Sea Scout, and the boat we had there was a sailing wooden open boat. It was was locally produced here in this part of Sweden. It's a funny construction, but it was really seaworthy. It was built in oak, so you can hit all kinds of rocks with no damage. But it needed a lot of maintenance. So stay away from wooden boat if you don't have
A lot of time
a lot of time to spend just on maintenance.
and energy. A lot of time and energy, because it takes time and energy to just keep it clean.
Yeah.
On.
But let's say you're 2 grown-ups and you're planning on just going for day trips. Get an open plastic or aluminum boat like this. And I'm not in this video. We are not gonna show you. You're gonna buy exactly this boat. We are talking about boat types. So if we are showing you a picture or something, it's not recommending a specific brand or model, just the type of the boat. And if you are like us, 2 grown-ups, 1 or 2 kids, something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not those nice-looking American power boats?
Well, it's not safe for the kids or the dogs.
Yeah.
Or grown-ups. Grown-ups are not used to that power. Absolutely not.
Yeah. The bigger power boats, especially the American ones. My parents had one of those when I was younger. It was a 194 Sunbird SPL, if my memory is correct. It looked nice. It handled good, but it had, like most of American boats, very low freeboards. And as I said before, it's this height. So if you have kids, look for boats with high freeboards, and don't only look for the height of the freeboards on the outside. It's the heights inside that's important. You know, you can have really high freeboards, but the floor in the boat is really high, so the freeboard inside the boats still are very, very, very low in some of those American-produced boats. Nothing bad about the American-made boats in general. It's just when you have small kids, that are like, especially if you have active kids like ours.
Because if you come up to our age, you are starting to be more comfortable of you. Like this one, it's like a sofa now. You're sitting better. It's much more comfy, more space.
Yeah, storage in this boat is amazing. We can
Oh,
have.
I'm not very impressed.
Yeah,
Well, we have very much storage, but everything is very small. It's small storage everywhere. I would rather have big storage, like
Yeah.
1 or 2 big storage.
I have another idea for that, but I haven't fixed that yet. Then you're gonna have 2 big storage spaces.
Well, I just use
Yeah,
that cabinet.
right now we're just using the aft cabin, just throwing stuff in. So, basically it boils down to a couple of types of boats. It's the smallest one, you know, the open plastic or aluminum boats. Then you have like the one we had before, you know, something day cruising or like your father's boats. It looks like this. That's basically this boat, but 1 meter smaller, shorter.
Yeah.
And then you have the bigger boats. That's like this one we have right now, and up. And then you have a couple of different versions of those. You know, like the smallest plastic boats, open. We had one of those before as well.
Yep.
And there you have, you know, with fast-going boats, or like the one we have was a semi-plane. I won't go into specific details of that. And then you have like the one we had before, a day cruiser. Our was really fast, burned through a lot of fuel, but it was a 2-stroke, so it was very easy to fix. And then the similar one, similar size of that is compared to your parents' boat.
Yeah.
It's about the same size, but that one is a slower going boat.
Yeah, it's like a combined of this boat and our last boat.
Yeah, our last boat size, but this boat's seaworthiness.
Yes.
And then we have the size like we have right now. This boat is 25 foot. That's somewhere 7.5 meters, I think, and up. So, what's the pros and cons for both boats?
I just want to add that start small.
Yeah,
Start with a smaller boat and then upgrade, and not vice versa.
yeah. If you're looking for your first boat, don't buy that, you know, very nice looking 30-foot power boat.
No,
No, don't do it.
because it's easier to sell small boats.
Yeah.
You might not get your money back, but it's easier to sell it and then upgrade.
Yeah.
Much easier. So just start small and then work out what you need and don't need on a boat.
Yeah. That's the good thing for us, because we have, you know, collected a lot of experience, you know, in what you want, what you think you want, what you need, and what you think you need. So if we're gonna start with this boat,
Yeah.
what are you missing?
Big storage.
Big storage
An oven.
and an oven.
Yes.
I'm working on that. So maybe for next season we will have a operating oven in this boat as well. I just haven't figured out where to put it yet. Maybe we should start with what we have on this boat. We have a really good fridge. It's a bit small, but it works really good, and it's a newer compressor one, so it doesn't take so much electricity, so we can run it 24/7. We have an electric toilet,
Yeah.
like, you know, you have at home, a real toilet with flush,
Yes.
and we have a 2-burner stove, ethanol one. We don't have a running shower yet.
Well, we have running water also.
Yeah, we have a water tank and for fresh drinking water, and we have,
A tap for washing water.
yeah, in the kitchen we have 2 taps,
Yeah.
electric ones, one with drinking water and one with seawater. So
Yeah.
you know, when you're just dishing or washing up stuff, you can do it that with seawater.
Yes.
So what do we have on this boat that you don't need?
I would say the toilet. That's
Yeah, we don't need it,
no.
but it's really, really nice to have, especially now with 2 kids.
But we are a bit spoiled. There are toilets on every island here.
Yeah,
Real toilets. So that's why we really don't need it. But if we're going away, then maybe it could be good.
yeah, especially when you have a sleepover. It's really nice to have a good working toilet on the boat when the kids wake up at night and need to go to the toilet.
Yes.
Luxury. Yeah, luxury and comfort.
I don't think we need that compartment either.
They have the aft cabin. Like I said, the kids are so small, so they're sleeping with us anyway in the boat. But in a couple of years,
Maybe yes.
yeah, they will want to sleep very long.
Or I think that we are the ones sleeping there and
Yeah,
they in
maybe.
the big bed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think. I think we need everything else. We don't have many luxury things, actually.
We have a shower, but it's not operating yet. But when the weather is gonna be a little bit better, I can work outside easier. I will connect that.
But that's a outdoor
Yeah, it's for
shower.
a shower with that we're gonna put on the swimming platform.
It's not like a shower you have at home. It's...
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Men nu vill jag spela det.
This boat compared to our last boat.
It's hard to compare because it's a different situation.
Yeah, but let's say, yeah, our last boat, we didn't have any burner stoves, we didn't have any toilet, no running water, stuff like that. So every time we went out with that boat, we had to bring everything in cans and buckets or containers of some kind. And when we went out to an island, we had to go ashore. We couldn't, if we wanted to go for, it's something, even, going to the toilets, we had to go ashore. When we went to a dock, it was not so much space on the boat. Maximum 4 people in the boat, sitting, having
For adults.
Yeah, for adults it was maximum for, having a coffee or a snack or something. In this boat, last summer we were 5 grown-ups and 4 kids.
3 kids.
3 kids
And
and
2
2 dogs. And it wasn't even crowded. And the big thing is the forward cabin and the aft cabin. We can have, always bedded if we wanted to, because we have this space also. So everything depends on who you are, your life situation, and
What you expect.
what you are expecting of the boat and what you want to do with it. In a future episode, we're gonna do a full tour of this boat, showing you exactly what we have, in accessories and ropes, lines, anchors, and stuff like that. I have a whole compartment with just tools and spare parts and stuff like that, just to fix and put in new stuff. And so we have a lot of stuff on this boat that's not normal boat stuff. I have a jigsaw and a screwdriver, maybe a couple of hundred of meters with cables.
Things you don't need.
Yeah, things you actually don't really need on the boat, but it's, for me, nice to have, because I do a little bit of work and adding lights and stuff like that. Continue. So the first thing you need to do is decide what you want to do with your boat. If you're just gonna go out for a day trip with no sleepover, go for an open plastic or aluminum boat. If you're a couple planning on, spending a night once in a while in the boat, go for the day cruiser models. And if you are a larger family, like 2 grown-ups, 2 kids, or you just want to spend a couple of nights on the boat, we can actually live on this boat if we wanted to.
Our goal are to live on the boat. Maybe not this boat, but to live on the boat full time.
Our boat.
Yeah. But we could easily live in this boat without.
Like I said, this boat is about 7.5 meters long. It's bigger than most caravans. Has more living space than most caravans, and people live on those all the time. So it would be possible, but
the kids are too small. They need to be able to run around easily. That's why we don't. Plus, in Sweden, it's too cold in the winter.
Yeah, we have a diesel heater and everything like that on the boat also, but
then you need solar panel, and here it's not sunny in the winter.
Yeah,
it's grey. so then
from September to May, it's grey and dark. So it's just not workable. But so first, figure out what you want to do with the boat, and then start looking around for that kind of type of boat. And when you decided what kind of boat you want, there is a couple of things to know and to look for, and pros and cons. Like what kind of engine, and then I'm not talking about a make or a model or a size, it's the type of engine. You have two types of engines. You have outboard and you have inboard. This boat has an inboard. The last one we had, all the last ones I've had, and before that, before even we met, had outboard engines. So this one is actually the first one with the inboard engine for me. And if we are talking about outboards, there are two kinds of outboards, basically. It's 2 strokes or 4 strokes gas engines. There are a couple outboard diesels, but they are very, very hard to find.